The Cuyahoga River forms with the retreat of the last glaciers. At the end of 18th century, the Cuyahoga River forms the western boundaries of the United States. Moses Cleveland found the township of Euclid at the Cuyahoga River mouth in 1796, and Cleveland is incorporated as a village at the beginning of the 19th century. In its first 4 decades, Cleveland was an agricultural village and a regional center of commerce. Items were made by craftsmen in small shops rather than in factories. Over the next 40 years, the company made goods which were representative of Cleveland's iron trade. The completion of the Ohio and the Erie Canal in 1832 have allowed Cleveland to receive raw materials and to ship out the finished products. Cleveland's history from 1860 to 1940 was mostly a record of heavy industrialization. The Civil War gave incentive to Cleveland's iron industry. In part, this growth was due to enterprising Clevelanders, who in the 1850s began exploiting the mineral resources of Upper Great Lakes and shipping them to Cleveland. Throughout much of Cleveland's history, water pollution was viewed as a necessary consequence of the industry that has brought the prosperity to the city. These attitudes began to change in the 1960s, with the fire on the river as the idea associated with the environmentalism. Cleveland's decline in manufacturing was led by heavy industries, with aging facilities, mismanagement, and outside ownership among the reasons for their departure. The shrinkage of the population gave the final hit to Cleveland. Most of the industrial parts of Cleveland are along the Cuyahoga River. The concentration of the industries forms the property boundary of the industrial valley. High density of the industry was isolated by the city and divided the city into 2 parts. A big gap located in the center of Cleveland. What the city needs to do is to use some kinds of methods to connect and activate 2 boundaries and throughout the city. Most of the Cuyahoga River Valley is inside the boundary of the city of Cleveland, and there are 3 major wards connected to the river. Cuyahoga River Remedial Plan has an area of concern covering the most of the watershed. At the same time, northeastern Ohio regional sewer districts are using the river as the major boundaries of the 3 districts in Cleveland. And the Cuyahoga River Valley became a blank area in the green map. Overlaying condition of the different boundaries shows the complicated management of the river. Different institutions and agencies are hard to coordinate based on their own purpose. Cuyahoga River needs a new authority to coordinate and manage overall remedial plan. There are different topologies of environmental boundaries inside the valley. Infrastructural boundaries include railroads, highways, and intersections. Topographical boundaries consist of a big cliff along the river and a high-rise at the edge of the downtown. The last superficial boundaries indicates the isolation effects of large pieces of land beside the valley. Existing connections supply a loose combination in between. Street networks connect with the major roads. Highways pass across the river near the downtown. Railroads has a high density with the concentration of industries inside. Bike trails are planned, but many relies on existing sidewalks for now. Transit lines pass across the valley to connect to the outer part of the city. The hybrid condition of existing connections shows a great potential to develop. Those bridges across the river could be the start point to suit up the city.